To fully understand the impact of your daily commute choices, Telesys provides a robust web-based commute tracking system. The Commute Management and Reporting System records your individual choices regarding work locations, commute patterns, and helps you quantify the financial and environmental impacts associated with your daily work commute. There are 4 simple steps to set up and get started with commute tracking and reporting. The system will guide you through this process and provides information and help along the way if needed. The first step involves defining the places you typically work. You'll see that your home is added as a default location. Select the Add a New Workplace link, and you'll see a menu with a map display. Your company's workplaces will be displayed in the drop-down menu. Add those that are relevant and select Save. You'll now see that that location has been added to your menu. If you work in non-company locations, such as a coffee shop or library, then use the Add Another Location feature to add each of those other third places of work. Simply give the location a name and input the address. If you don't know all of the details of the address, put in as much as you can, and you can use the map feature to help with the rest of the location. Click Copy Address to your work location, and it will fill in the rest of the details for you. Select Save, and that location is now saved to your menu. You can roll over the Details icon to view details of that specific location. If you need to make changes to any of those, simply hit the Edit button, and it will allow you to make any changes necessary. The second step in this process involves defining all the forms of transportation you use to get to work. Telecommuting is added as a default, but it can be deleted if desired after you add another transportation mode. Select the Add a New Transportation Mode to see a menu for adding a car or truck, as well as other types of transportation. In this case, we'll add a vehicle. You'll now see that vehicle has been added to the menu. Select Add a New Transportation Mode and pick all the other forms of transportation you might use to get to work, such as walking, a bus, and perhaps a train. Select any that apply to you and hit Save. You'll now see that each of those commute modes, transportation modes, has been added to your menu. When you're done adding all of your transportation modes, select Continue to set up your commute profiles. The third step in the process involves creating commute profiles, which are a combination of where you work and how you get there. Telecommuting from home is a default location and can be removed as desired after adding another commute profile. Select the Add a New Commute Profile link, and a new menu and map will display. Give your commute profile a name, such as Drive to Coffee Shop. Select From Home to Coffee Shop. Select the mode of transportation you use, in this case, a car. You can enter the distance and travel time yourself, or you can copy the values in from the map. Either of these quantities can be modified if needed. Select Save, and that commute profile is now saved to your menu. Again, rolling over the details will display what has been created. Let's add another commute profile. In this case, we'll say train to coffee shop. In taking the train, I may use multiple modes of transportation. So first I'll drive to the train station, which is 3 miles and takes about 5 minutes. Then I'll add another mode for the trip, which is taking the train. I'll take the train 30 miles, and that would take 50 minutes. And then finally, I would do some walking, and I walk about a half a mile, and that takes about 8 minutes. I save this, and now I've got a new profile called Train to Coffee Shop. Again, rolling over the details will display the methods I take to get there and about how long it takes. The last step on this commute profile screen is to set the commute profile that's your baseline. What do you most often use? In this case, we'll set drive to coffee shop as the baseline. You've now completed the one-time setup for creating your tracking profile. If you get interrupted in the process, you can always return to the system, and the My Teletrips page will show you what's been completed in the tracking process setup and where you are to go next. By hitting tracking, you will land on the tracking page. This is the page you will use each time you go in to track your daily commutes. The tracking system allows you to record your daily work commutes. A calendar will display up to 2 weeks previous to today's date. Select a date on the calendar, and then select the commute profile that matches what you did on that particular day. Hit submit, and that commute was recorded. You'll notice that each time you record a particular day's commute, the calendar will turn green. You can select multiple dates and then select the profile that matches them. Now you'll see when I roll over those days, there's details associated with each. The trip impacts table shows the time, CO2 emission equivalent, and financial impact associated with each commute profile type. As you toggle between them, you'll see the differences in each of the commute profiles as related to your baseline or in comparison to your baseline. After logging a couple weeks of commutes, select the My Impacts tab. You'll see that you can run a variety of reports showing the impact of the tracking that you've documented versus other as comparison to other types of commute. In this case, it's comparing to a typical commute. You can also compare it to your own baseline, which would be if you, in this case, drove to the coffee shop every day. The left-hand margin indicates the variety of reports that can be run. Environmental, such as CO2 emission equivalents. Financial, such as the fuel costs associated with each of those commute choices, as well as other sorts of values such as calories burned. Each week, the system generates an email to remind you to log in and track your previous week's commutes. And it will give you a summary of your cumulative savings in terms of emissions, time saved, and cost saved. By consistently logging your commute choices, you'll have an accurate record of the impact your commute choices are having.